But he says, once I found out the young punk, he didn't want to face this. He didn't want to sell anything from down here. He didn't want to loot and pillage. What do you think I'm going to do? Do you think I'm just going to let these goons in the ghetto take my family from me or kill my children as they threatened? No, I'm going to protect my family, so I killed Sokol. That's right, I killed Sokol. I took my dagger and I rammed it right into his back as he squealed, and he laid dead in front of me. So that is why I killed Sokol.
So, having him confess, I'll grab him by the scruff of the shoulders, or two hands at shoulders, pick him up, and relinquish him of his weapons.
He allows it. He's not I'll
ask him. Well, I won't ask
trying
him.
to Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'll demand that he picks up the boy and he can show his handiwork to the occupants up top.
Sure. Yeah, the guards. He's got 3 guards with him. 3 guards come out. They tell you that they are going to escort him up to the top. They are going to immediately let Sergeant Hearn know of the guard, the head guard, basically one of the head guards of the town, and they start to take him out, and they're actually being pretty rough with him. Kind of making him trip going down the stairs and whatnot, and saying, "Oh, oops, did you fall down?" And then they pick him back up, and they're pretty forceful with him as they, take him out of the room.
Shem would like to make a perception check to see if A, this is just an act with the guards, and B, does the party think that he's actually going to be brought to justice or not? Because if not, I'm going to attack him.
Depends if he gets past the pit.
Yeah. Markesh wouldn't allow you to. Isn't going to allow you to attack him. He would have you stand down.
Yeah. Well, Kalash had already done an inside check, and he is adamant as determining that the guards were being forced to lie about this. Grim was basically threatening all their families and whatnot. So they even say, if it makes you feel better, we will wait for you. We'll wait with Grim here.
Well, we certainly don't want him falling down into a hole of undead. So.
Yes, I think it'd be good if you came with us and we escorted him back to Sergeant Hearn as a group, and then we could all give our accounts of the situation here. I think it would be better for yourselves. Otherwise, it is your word versus his.
Sure. Yeah, they are in full agreement with you. Now, as and the guards actually take Grim and put him down in one of the cells. There is a key ring that the guards had found previously. And one of the guards turns to you and says, "There is the room that we were in. Grim had taken after he had killed Sokol, after the undead had kind of died down a little bit. There were lots of trinkets made of bone, made of jade, made of diamonds and gold and silver, and Grim looted everything. We thought that this was going to curse us." And they take you right into this room, where the door is. And inside of this room, there is quite a hoard of treasure. I mean, a bunch. There is several bags of little trinkets and whatnot. Little, idols of the gods. And you figure that there's probably 100 gold worth of trinkets and whatnot. We'll
collect them up.
There's a couple plates with brass engraved, glyphs inside of these brass plates. all kinds of little trinkets made of bone. And you can, and the guards tell you that he took these from the idol area, and the walls of this idol area, as you guys kind of look closer, there's all these little miniature niches spaced out a couple inches apiece. I mean, probably 100 holes of kind of, fill that half circle of that raised area. And that, the guards tell you that that's where all these idols came from, was from all of these little miniature niches. And as they were clearing them out, the undead animated again. And that's when they fell back into this room once again. Lots of valuables, though. Several large bags worth.
So
Yeah,
the
we'll
guards
collect them
are
up.
coming out, and then Omi's going to gather all that up for us.
Also, we'll go and collect the wand that's in Igon's hand.
Yeah, I think we grabbed that already.
Yeah.
And the gold that he had on him. I would actually, if we're going to allow Sergeant Grimm to come out of this room, would want him to be the one to carry Igon up.
Okay. No. He doesn't want to
And when
go
we get-
first, but the guards basically rough him up a little bit.
And when we go back upstairs, boys, we need to go back to Igon's chambers and pick up that little bag that we found.
He would want to be buried with his token of tear, I would believe.
I believe so, yes. If that was his, I think he should be buried with that. But the book, however, it would be good if that could be returned to a Temple of Tyr, so it could be looked into more as a historic reference of theirs.
Is there anything else of the arcane within this, Kel?
All I detected was the wand, and it's quite strong magical properties. I believe it could be possibly what's used to activate and deactivate the lighthouse. And that being said, I'd like to thank you, whoever you are, young lady, for helping assist in bringing Sergeant Grimm to justice. You obviously knew that he had killed your master.
So, as you say that aloud, a spirit appears in front of you, and it is of a beautiful human female. Her hair kind of flowing in this wind, and she introduces herself as Hare, Harae. She introduces herself as Hare, and she tells you that she thanks you. She has lost all of her powers. There was once a Temple of Tyr down here at one point, and it was basically wiped away. The old temple was wiped away, and this new temple sprang up, and this was hundreds of years ago. And she had died in the Dragon Wars, she explains. But over time, her powers have diminished, and she could not take care of Grimm. And she says, I can't even move anything anymore. All I can do is speak to you. But she tells you that with you finding Grimm, that it has basically unbound her from Sokol. Because when Sokol was a child, he found all of this, stuff for Tyr back up in the other tower. Remember where you found his journal and whatnot?
Yep.
And that's where Hare was the whole time. And Sokol was just a young boy of 4 or 5 years old, she explains. And she bound herself to him. And she was like his guardian angel, I guess, is how she explains it. But now that he is gone, she is done in this world.
I'll ask her, does she know anything about the curse that was placed upon the lighthouse? Was that her to try and get someone's attention to come to his aid?
She says, "It was me." And she says, "The lighthouse is in working order again. I have removed the curse."
Thank you, my lady. That is much appreciated.
And then she looks over at Omi, and she says, "You are more than welcome to take the pouch of money now. Young Master Agen will not need that where he is at now." And she says she's going to
I
meet
tell her.
him. What do you say?
Oh, I tell her I apologize for taking it. I did not realize that Eigen was actually a true noble, which is not very common these days.
Yeah, he is the child of the Sockles that's actually have lived in the keep for the past 100 years or so.
I'm going to ask her. I'd like to ask her at least. Over the past few hundred years, this temple of Dagon the shrine of Dagon has taken over Temple of Tyr that was here. Has anyone been down here in quite a long time to worship, or do we have Dagon followers amongst us?
No. She goes on to explain as the reason why is because she, when she had powers, she is the one who created the door that would not allow anyone to enter. But Master Agen had solved the riddles. So, she goes on to say that he was a very intelligent young man. And the reason why she hid this place is because Tyr's temple was defaced, and this appeared. So she didn't want anyone worshiping it and finding it. And she tells you can do with it what you want. I do not care. And then she says, "My time here is done. I thank all of you. I am going to meet Master Agen now." And she says, "I wish you good luck, my friends." And she disappears very slowly.
Thank you, Hera. Rest in peace.
P.S. That guy really does look like the Bathhouse Bandit.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
I'm just kidding.
Hey, Dave. It's 9:30.
Yep. So that's it for the adventure tonight.
Cheers,
You
Dave.
guys, great job. You guys get Sergeant Grimm with the guards. A trial is held. Grimm is found guilty. He is hung about a week later. His family is not persecuted in any way. The guards, magic was used on them to see if they were telling the truth. They were. So, court records now show that Grimm was the sole participant in the murder of young Master Agen Sokol.